Well, hello and welcome back to Dwayne and Nidia Food, Travel, and Fun. And here is another video showing some of our recent time spent at the Atlantis, Bahamas. This video will focus on the resort itself and really give you an idea of what it's like to be on this resort. As you can recall from our earlier video, we stayed in the Cove, but this video will focus on the Aquaventure Park and the Royal, as well as all of the activities and exhibits and things that you can visit while in that part of the resort. So everything is connected by walking paths, and in fact the walking paths from the Cove area and the Reef area all the way to the Royal are covered. So even if it's raining, you can go out there and walk and you'll be dry. The other thing is walking is it's really fun to do here. There's so much to see and so much to do. So as we walked from the Cove toward the Royal, these are some of the sites. This is I believe it's called a colonnade pool. It's a huge swimming pool, and it has one side that's very, very shallow for children and another side that gets a little bit deeper. Very, very beautiful, and it's on your way to the Aquaventure Park. I really like the decor, very laid back feeling, really beautiful. The views from all three sides are amazing, and they put out a lot of chairs and they have a lot of shade. There are also lifeguards at each of the pools. Lots of food options, the Cascades being one at the Cove. You just saw the breakwater. Earlier you saw pita. All of them are very casual, very poolside, and you can just walk up and grab what you like and ask for what you like and have a seat. No need to go and get dressed and leave the pool or the beach to go and get a bite for lunch. So here we are in the Aquaventure Park. This is where you start to see some of the buildings that house the famous water slides. Here's Dwayne waving at the outside of one of what they call the Tower of Power, where several slides are located. Here is a little piece of what they call the River Rapids, or the Rapids River. There are about 10 different on and off points for this ride. Some are a little more, let's say, mild, then other parts are a little more rapid. This is the famous Mayan slide. Those two slides, people actually race each other down. And then, not far from all of these Aquaventure activities is this play zone area for children. I was really amazed by this. It's beautiful. And yet again, another stop point for the River Rapids, where you pick up your float and then head to your nearest entrance. Beautiful walk. If you're wondering why you don't see anyone other than us in this video, it's because most of the Aquaventure Park area and the pools do not open until 9 for the pools and 10 for the rides. And Wayne and I were out here fairly early. Here's just another show of the Rapid River entrance. Lots of entrances. I should mention now that when you get on the Rapid River ride, please pay attention to what point you're getting in and at what point you want to get off. Otherwise, you risk getting off and having a decent long walk back to where you started and left your things. But it's very easy to follow the map. So later that afternoon, we got dressed and decided to head out to the Royal Tower. We took the shuttle. I should say the shuttle service there is excellent. The shuttle service runs maybe every 4 or 5 minutes and can take you from the Cove and to just about any other area in every 5 or 6 minutes. I had no idea that they had such a beautiful marina. Look at this yacht coming in as we were visiting the Royal that day. Looks like something you'd see on Below Deck. And that wasn't the only big yacht in town. The Marina district is truly beautiful, very scenic, and there's a lot of restaurants and things to do in that part of the resort. And here's another shot. Look at the detail and the theming. That's one of the most impressive things I think about the Atlantis. The theming around the aquatic park and the marine industry. They really do a lot to save marine life and to breed marine life here. This is the main lobby of the Royal Towers. Big, spacious, lots of decor. Again, staying with the Atlantis Lost World and Aquatic World theme. High ceilings, beautiful windows. And then what I didn't notice is there's these stairs that take you down from the main lobby, and it takes you down, you can see here, this is right by the entrance, to an area that is filled with an aquarium and lots of sea life. I'm not talking a little aquarium. This aquarium made up the walls of the first floor of the Royal Towers lobby. Beautiful. And it was much larger than I thought, and we saw many more species of marine life than I expected. It's quite an attraction in and of itself. Hard to believe that it's just part of the lobby. And as I learned more about the Atlantis marine life program, I realized they've done a lot to really save endangered species, as well as keep these species alive in a way that, you know, bodes well for the future. And that's, of course, in addition to giving us an opportunity to examine this marine life in a setting that's healthy and propagating more. You can see here just a shot of some of the fish. And they come right up to the glass. You know, it's one of those things where you start looking and you can't look away. So much to see, so much to experience. And I do love aquariums. I do love the marine life. So here we are, entrance to the casino. The casino was quite fun. It's a casino like all others. And while I played in the casino, Dwayne went and took a walk, and I went the next day with him to an area called The Dig, which is the main exhibit that showcases and highlights the marine life programs that they conduct here in Atlantis. It's basically a long hallway filled with different types of exhibits. This is the lobster. The theming is amazing. It's almost like you're submersed 360 in a world of marine life, hence Atlantis. There we go. Feels like you're in a lobster pot yourself when you see all of the lobsters on every side. Those, of course, are Caribbean spiny lobsters, not like the cold water lobsters that we have here in New England. Gotta say, I don't think I even ate any of that Caribbean lobster while I was here. Well, maybe I did, but I don't remember. That is a lionfish. They actually serve it on the menu at Fish, the restaurant in the Cove by Jose Andres. I didn't realize that they were an invasive species and that eating them would actually be a good thing. Oh, there's a beautiful fish right there. And again, more theming that really sets the stage for, you know, the Atlantis resort. It's more than just an aquarium. And it seemed that families and children really have a love for all things marine. Here's another one. Not sure if this is the tank that has what we call the Goliath groupers, but there are some Goliath groupers here. Let's see if we can see them in any of these shots. Not sure if we were able to. Oh, there's a beautiful stingray. And the water's so clear, it's very easy to get these beautiful shots even though you're on the other side of the glass. And even the bottom and the decor that they used inside the aquarium was beautiful. The walls, as you can see, are also themed with paintings, artifacts. And you can see how they built the tanks around some of the theming. It really does feel like you're in an undersea world, sort of like underground Pompeii. And of course, there are sharks. Most of the sharks are in another part of the park. There it is. There's the Goliath grouper. These are huge fish. I'm not sure they're beautiful, but they are big fish. I know they have a lot of that grouper in the Caribbean and in the warm waters down south, in the Caribbean, of course, the Bahamas, and of course, Florida. There's a good shot of what one looks like. They actually catch a lot of grouper in that area too. It's a very sought after fish for anglers. It's amazing how many fish are here. And now we're going to an interesting area. This is where jellyfish, compared to the fish moving all around and scattering all around, this seems almost serene. And the coloring of their tank and the relative lack of light makes them more and more translucent to at least the normal eye. It looks almost like spaceships in the sky, in the night sky. Oh, here are some moray eels. I'm glad they're in a tank. I wouldn't want to see them out at a beach where I am swimming. But there is a certain beauty to all marine life. Oh, there's one with his head sticking out from one of the pots. That's funny. Hadn't even noticed that when I was there. And moving on, we have even more theming. More underground riches with fish swimming around as if something had sunk, or as if the entire lost world had sunk and the fish just sort of got used to living there and living among the ruins. That's what the theming is like at this resort. Big and small fish, little, large marine life, they all seem to be well taken care of, and they seem to do really well in this captivity that they've designed here at Atlantis. The dig is I would say it takes about 15 or 20 minutes or so just to get through all of the exhibits. And while you're there, there are retail stores and even places where you can get snacks. It's air conditioned, and it's a nice respite. So if you've been outside and the kids have been outside and you want to go inside but not go to sleep and not go back to the room, you can take the time to go through this exhibit. There's also another exhibit called the Predator Tunnel, and I must say, we never figured out how to get there despite asking different people who worked both in the dig and outside the dig and at Shake Shack and all the areas outside the Royal where we thought we would be able to access the Predator Tunnel. Turns out that finally, after I got home, I decided to go look around on YouTube and ended up finding that you have to get very close to what's called the Lagoon Cafe. I believe it's the Predator Lagoon Cafe, and from there apparently there are some stairs or a circular stairway that you take down, and once you get down there, then you can find your way to the Predator Tunnel, and that lagoon itself is where the sharks are. So you will be encased in that tunnel, and you'll be able to see the sharks all around you. But like I said, that'll have to be something we do on another day. I apologize for not getting any footage. It's considered one of the top things to do when at Atlantis. And sad to say, we never found our way there despite our attempts. Here's part of the last series of rooms at the dig. You just saw a set of stairs, so it very much is like a sunken or lost city, and then of course the animals just moved in and now live amongst the ruins. Here comes a nice big ray. Gotta say, since I heard that poor Australian man, I can't recall his name, died because he was stung by the ray. Well, not stung, I guess it was that tail that jabbed into his heart, but it's too bad. All right, so exiting, you can see some of what is outside. There's another beach. I believe this is the lagoon, a different lagoon than other. There's more than one lagoon on the resort. There's the Shake Shack and a couple of other areas. There's a bar on the other side. And you can see signs and signage everywhere that leads you to just about any activity, any location on the resort. Waterfalls everywhere, and these are also themed, and in many areas the plant life as well as the marine life are meant to incorporate into the overall experience. Yep, and these are what it's like to walk around the grounds at the resort. They've really taken great care to design a beautiful setting. Every unique part of this resort, regardless whether you're at the Royal, the Marina, the Cove, the Reef, Harborside, or even the Country Club, it's just done with such care and with such attention to detail that it really is um, inspiring to see. Here's another shot. And I believe that round building there is where we should have gone to then enter the predator tank, but we never figured out. I don't think the signage is as good as it could be to get us to that predator tunnel. And that's one thing we're going to have to do when we get there next time. But now I know we should have kept walking. It just looked like that path was leading to food and not to any type of, not to any type of attraction. That's the Royal Tower. There are two sides to the Royal Tower. Those are the original towers that created this Atlantis resort. And of course, many of the others were built up around it. And the Aquaventure Park is actually central to pretty much all the resort areas. Just another view of the lagoon. There are activities at the lagoon. There are, I guess, what we would call lagoon activities like pool toys and rides and paddle boats and things like that as well, that you can rent while you're there. Snorkeling also at the lagoon here is something else that you can enjoy. And of course, as we started to walk back, there are even more areas to really appreciate the marine life on the outside. So beautiful. I just got back 3 days ago, and I want to go back already. I can watch marine life it's so relaxing. And again, the maintenance and the care they take to keep this resort so clean and so beautiful, you know that they're really taking good care of this place. Kind of like Disney World in a way, where you know that there's a lot of people who are very actively keeping the park clean and working behind the scenes. I did ask someone how many people are employed at the Atlantis Bahamas, and they told me that it is around 9,000, and that it makes them the #1 private employer in the Bahamas. Wow, some of them really swim fast. Just another walking path. A lot of grounds maintenance got done in the morning, because as we walked it most mornings, we just saw, even though things were closed, people were out there trimming and cutting and watering and cleaning and taking out dead leaves and pruning, and it's just a lot to do. All right, so this walk brought us back very close to where we started. And thank you so much for watching our videos and for watching Dwayne and I go off on our adventures. This one turned out to be one unexpectedly amazing adventure. We knew it would be great, but it was even better than we expected. And we can't wait to go back. And stay tuned. There are at least 1 or 2 more Atlantis videos to come, and lots more adventures and more travel and food videos coming.